There's going to be a market crash like we haven't seen since the Great Depression. Since the 1929 crash, that's what you're looking at now.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Triangle Investor Interviews. I'm your host Lucian Valkovic, and before I announce my guest, just a quick reminder of a disclaimer. This interview and all my interviews are not a recommendation to buy or sell any shares, products or services. Always do your due diligence and consult with your financial advisor. And my guest today is Gerald Celente, an American trend forecaster, publisher of Trends Journal, business consultant, and author who makes predictions about the global financial markets and other important events. Gerald, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Also, I have best-selling books, Trends 2000, Trend Tracking, far better than Megatrends, Time Magazine, and I published the weekly Trends Journal magazine, and I've been at this for 45 years. And I've never seen what's going on now around the world. It's a freak show in front of everybody's eyes, and the freaks are running the show. As we say, in a country near you. You got that little Catson Macron over there in France with a pecker the size of his pencil, if he has one at all. A little nobody Starmer over there. Heil Merz, we got to build up our military in Germany. We only killed 25 million Russians in World War II, and you like World War I? We're in recession for 2 years. 2 years. But this year our GDP is going to grow by 0.2%, so we're not in recession, and we're borrowing $1 trillion to build our military up? Oh, we're going to build the infrastructure so they can hold the tanks? It's a freak show. And we got Trump over here. Before him, we got genocide Joe Biden. One freak after another around the world, running the world, and the people have lost all their guts to fight against them. Just to make it clear.
I would like to touch on the economic forecasts and market crashes. You warned of U.S. market stock crash driven by AI speculation, likening it's the 2000s dot-com bust. With Nvidia, ongoing earnings volatility and tariffs from Trump on Canada and Mexico in effect, what specific triggers do you see pushing the Dow into free fall in the upcoming quarters?
First of all, the PE ratios are way overvalued, price-earnings ratio. And there's no relationship to Wall Street and Main Street. Totally different. You're looking at 3 companies, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They say, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, they own some 80% of the S&P 500. Now, when you go and look at, it just came out, Meta didn't do well today because their AI is overvalued. They're down 10%. Go back to our Trends Journal on January 28th of this year. We forecast dot-com bust 2.0. Tracking trends is the understanding of where we are, how we got here, and where we're going. And trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. The AI trend was just born 3 years ago to the public. 3 years. You don't invest all your money into the infant that was just born. And that's what they did. Just like the dot-com bust. And again, you could go back to your Trends Journal. I had it here somewhere back in 2019. 2019, we said it would bust by the second quarter of 2000, which it did. Again, tracking trends is the understanding of where we are, how we got here, and where we're going. And as we say in the trend forecasting business, Opportunity misses those who view the world through the eyes of their profession. So the people in the economic world know all about the economics, but they don't look about the other facts. Let's go back to the year 2000, 25 years ago. And this has to do with AI. Little Bill Clinton, Slick Willie, brought China into the World Trade Organization. And they officially came in 2 weeks after 9/11, 2001. In 2000, about 10% of Chinese 18-year-olds went to college. Now, almost 70%. What does this have to do with AI? Everything. Let's go back to January of this year. DeepSeek. Who ever heard of DeepSeek? Oh, DeepSeek came out. Oh, what happened? Oh, Nvidia's stock went down what? They lost some $600 billion in one day? Oh, yeah, but we came back up. The Chinese are going to lead the world in AI. Again, I'm mentioning the young people. Young people are totally AI high-tech addicted. This is their future. This is their life. Love it, hate it, it's the future. AI is going to be, it is the future. It's going to be in education, hiring, firing, the whole thing. Anyway, Chinese 18-year-olds are now, again, 70% almost are going to college. And the Chinese government is investing very heavily in AI. Hey, take a look at the Hang Seng. Oh, the Hong Kong markets? Oh, look how they're skyrocketing up. Oh, how come? Because they're investing in the AI that China's leading the role in. They don't talk about this at all in America. Nope, can't talk about it. Oh, and that little clown boy, the guy that's the Federal Reserve head, Jerome Powell, he came out yesterday, Wednesday, and said, this AI, this is different than the dot-com bust. He said they're making a lot of money with AI. He's full of crap. They're not making money with AI. They're investing trillions of dollars in this, and look at the data coming out about how they're not making dough on AI, most of the companies. But that's the crap spewing out of the mouth of this little freaky clown. As I said, it's a freak show. Just look at that little jerk-off. This is a little scumbag who said, oh, no, there's no inflation back in 2021. It's only transitory. Oh, no, it's only temporary. We're pumping in trillions of dollars of fake money to prop up the COVID war. Get back in your house. Don't go to work. Here's billions of dollars for the big companies. Trillions of dollars pumped into the economy. Brings up inflation. Fuck you, Celente. There's no inflation. Who the hell do you think you are? All right? That's what's going on. They're downplaying this. There's going to be a market crash like we haven't seen since the Great Depression. Since the 1929 crash, that's what you're looking at now.
Yeah, Gerald, the US debt levels are at record highs and inflation is stubbornly above target despite the recent rate policies. Is this really shaping up to be the year of global recession? Or you do see any wild card policies from Trump administration that could avert it?
They'll do anything they can. Again, some people, I have best-selling books. People say, oh, you're a futurist. I'm not a futurist. Nobody could predict the future. There are too many wild cards, whether they're made by humans or nature. So let's go back. 2012. I thought the markets would crash again. Again, I took out the domain name, the Panic of 08 in 2007. Again, I made my name when I called the 1987 stock market crash, the dot-com bust, the Asian currency crisis, on and on and on. I thought things would crash in 2012. So I'm responding to your question. They didn't teach me about a thing called zero interest rate policy or quantitative easing in Economics 101 or graduate school. They'll make up any crap they can to artificially prop up the markets, and Trump will do everything he can to prop them up. And one of the things is going to be lowering interest rates as much as they can, which is very important to look at again. Go back to our Trends Journal, top trend for 2024, a golden year for gold. We called, it's in your trends journal, we called the bottom of gold in September 2023. We said, hit $1,850. We said, this is the bottom. September, October, November, December, January 2nd, 4 months later, we forecast it would be a golden year for gold. Gold went up last year, almost 30%. And now it's on another run. Go back to our podcast on October 16th of this month. I said there's going to be a correction in gold. It could go down $500 an ounce. And it did. Going back to interest rates. Oh, Wednesday they lowered interest rates. What happened? Gold went back up to little over $4,000 an ounce. The lower interest rates go, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go. Gold is dollar-based. So as other currencies go up, it's cheaper to buy it. Number two, when you're looking at what's going on globally, they're going to do everything they can to prop up equity markets. And it's not going to work. It's just going to pump more cheap money into it, and it's going to keep pushing gold prices up. And then the wild cards are the Israel war and the Ukraine war. Remember they BS'd about the ceasefire? Oh, let's see. On Tuesday, they only killed 104 Palestinians. They broke the ceasefire about 8 times already, and now they're talking about Iran again. If the United States and Israel attack Iran, you're going to see oil prices skyrocket, and that's going to crash the global economy, and they're going to do everything they can to keep the Ukraine war going. So the wild cards, those are the wild cards. But as we see it, gold is and silver, and we don't give financial advice either, as you don't. And we tell people to think for yourself. We just put the facts down. But I've never seen anything as bad as it is now. And you said before about the United States debt level. No, it's much higher than $37 trillion. When you put in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all the other government expenses, the numbers range between 100 to 200 trillion. And then when you look at the OECD, they said the global debt level is about $340 trillion. So that's why you're seeing gold and silver prices go up. Then the BRICS. I forgot about the BRICS. They've had enough of the United States geopolitical and economic hegemony. The BRICS control now some 40% of the global GDP. They're going to be pulling away from the dollar. Again, the lower the dollar goes, the higher gold prices go, and silver.
Yeah, when it comes to silver, do you believe that in the next period it will outperform gold?
I don't know. But right now it is. I mean, it's, as far as going up this year, it's up, about almost 60%. It hit 65%, so it's going up much quicker. Again, they use silver in everything in high tech and heavy industry. And unlike gold, when, like you have a gold bracelet, that you want to turn it in for dough, they melt it down and redo it. Silver, your computer breaks, your cell phone, you throw it away. So there's no silver reserves, unlike gold reserves. So, yes, silver prices have a very high probability of going much higher.
Okay. Gerald, Bitcoin and gold and silver, they are trending as hedges against the instability. But you've noted central banks could pull the plug on crypto. I mean, in this period of potential currency, not potential, it's a currency war, actually. Which asset beside gold and silver do you favor for wealth preservation, and why?
Again, as trend forecasters, you look at things the way they are, not the way we like them to be. CBDCs are the future, central bank digital currencies. And again, we only put the facts down. Look it up. Go back to 2020 and 2021. Donald Trump came out against Bitcoin. Without, not the exact language, but he said it was killing the dollar and it was trash. Then what happens? He runs for president in 2024. He gets over $100 million from the crypto people. Tens of millions of dollars from them for his inauguration. His kids are in the crypto business. Witkoff, Jerkoff, Lutnick, the guys in the cabinet, their kids in the crypto business. Trump's only interested in money and himself and his family. So we're very bullish on it. It's going to keep going up as long as they're invested in it. And they want to go, all the banks around the world are going to go CBDC, so they know every penny you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on, and most importantly, they get your tax money because they know every penny that you spent and they want their tax money because politicians don't work. They used to call them public servants, we're the servants. And they're the princes and the kings. So we're bullish on it because of where it is.
Yeah, I'm curious, how would this CBDC look in the real terms? What does that mean? There will be no paper money at all.
No.
How would they control it? What's your take?
Again, they'll control just like they're all doing it. I mean, how could you come up with a name like what's that? What they call this? That coin, what they're doing now, the stable coins.
Stable. Yeah.
What's so stable about it? Orwell couldn't come up with a better name. It's a joke. They'll do it because everything's high tech. The whole world is that. So they have all the data they need to do it and to make it happen. They're doing it in China. You're not using any cash, any credit card. It's all digitized. We're going from dirty cash to digital trash.
Gerald, how would you draw a picture of the world in 5 years from now? What do you expect will happen globally?
I'm concerned about war. I launched a movement over a decade ago called Occupy Peace. I had peace rallies here in Kingston. Judge Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Joe Lauria, Roger Waters did a live broadcast just past September 27th, on and on. When all else fails, they take you to war. And the economies are going to fail. Go back to the dot-com bust. The NASDAQ was down 80%. The United States was in a severe recession. 9/11 happened. Everybody forgot about it. And they invented the phony housing market thing and derivatives to artificially prop everything up again. Yeah, go back to History Today, mainstream media. United States freezes Japanese assets. On July 26, 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt seized all Japanese assets in the United States in retaliation for the Japanese occupation of French Indochina. The Great Depression was going on. The Great Depression. French Indochina? Who the hell are you talking to? What the hell are the French doing in Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam? And you got the gall to call it French Indochina? Oh, we're stealing their rubber, their tin, raping, pillaging. Oh, we were in Algeria, we're in Morocco, we had the French Foreign Legion. Oh, we're all over. The United, Google it up. Google it up. It's right here. You ready? Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. Britain and Dutch East Indies followed suit. Remember, they stole all the Japanese money. British and Dutch East Indies? What the hell are the Dutch doing in Indonesia? And you got the gall to call it Dutch East Indies? Shut the hell up, Celente. I'm the king. And that's another dirty word. Shove this king crap up your you-know-what. You're murderers. If you were Italian, you'd call them a mafia. They cut off 3/4 of Japanese foreign trade and 88% of their oil. Can't understand why they bombed Pearl Harbor. All right? When all else fails, they take you to war. That's my greatest fear. Look at how the little clown boy, that little piece of nothing Macron. We're going to send troops to Ukraine. Again, that guy, Mertz. Oh, Mertz from BlackRock? One after another. When all else fails, they take you to war. The facts are all there. That's my greatest fear. Oh, go back to the Israel war. People have no idea. They forgot. After genocide, Netanyahu won the election in December 2022. In 2023, there were 39 weeks of protests going on in Israel because he wanted to pass a Judicial Reform Act that basically said they're not going to bring me up to court for the crimes that they say I've committed. 39 weeks of protests. Google it up. Isaac Herzog, the president of Israel, said there was a civil war going on. A civil war. And then on October 7th, 2023, Hamas attacks. Everybody forgot about it. And again, we only put the facts in the Trends Journal. We subscribe to Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper. We pay to go to it. And we go to the Times of Israel, we go to Ynet, we go to Jerusalem Post. Want to hear what they're saying? 3 days after Hamas attacked, it was reported that the United States and Egypt had warned Israel that Hamas was going to attack. And then Haaretz reported later on that they knew it was going to happen. One person after another said it. When all else fails, they take you to war. And by the way, we also go to IRNA, ISNA, Press TV, Tehran Times. Want to hear what the Iranians have to say? We go to Arab News, Al Jazeera, Middle East Monitor, Middle East. Want to hear what the Arabs have to say? We go to Euro News. We go to Press 24. We want to hear what the Europeans have to say, one after another. What the Americans have to. This is what they're saying. This is our analysis, and this is where we see it going. So we take everybody's comments and then put them together. So going back to what you're saying, what's going to happen in 4 or 5 years, we may not be here. There was a cat by the name of Albert Einstein, knew a thing or two about the atomic bomb. They asked him what kind of weapons will be used to fight the Third World War. He said, I don't know, but they'll be using sticks and stones to fight the fourth.
Gerald, final question. In your view, this is a radical year of wildcards from populism 2.0 to free speech crackdowns. What one unpredictable event like a major cyber attack or trade deal collapse could redefine global trends by, let's say, in this year or the next one?
Again, to me, the one's going to be the dot-com bust, dot-com bust 2.0. Another important thing that nobody's talking about, the COVID war. They locked down everybody. You can't go to work, stay home. Google it up. Castle System with a K, Kastle. Your office occupancy rate in the United States is about 54%. 54%. There are a lot of empty buildings. A lot of people still working at home. The leases come up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. The leases are coming up. They're not renewing them. A lot of buildings. There are a lot of empty. Here, 2019, your office vacancy rate, meaning nobody in them, was 11%. Now it's about 20%. There's going to be failures, huge failures, where big office owners, building owners are not going to be able to pay off their mortgages, their debt. And the banks don't have the money to cover it. Go back to 2023. 3 banks failed in America: Signature, Silicon Valley, and First Republic. But markets went down, gold prices skyrocketed. 3 banks. You're going to see 30 banks fail. Most of the banks that are holding these mortgages are medium size. Not the largest ones, but the medium. You're going to see failures coming. That's something to look at that nobody's talking about that we're writing in the Trends Journal. Office building bust, that's going to make the banks go bust. Those are the things that we're looking at in the dot-com bust 2.0. And
So
again,
2008 all over again.
I'm sorry, what?
2008 all over again, right?
Yep. No, worse.
Worse.
1929.
Wow. Okay. Gerald, how can people reach out to you, please?
Trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. You know, we're giving people history before it happens. The facts are there. And we've been at this. There's no magazine. I'm not bragging. If anybody, look at the comments on YouTube. But, you know, there's no magazine like it. This journalism is dead. Again, that little slime ball, Bill Clinton, that took our jobs out of America, brought them to NAFTA back, and then brought them to China. He also had the Federal Communications Act in 1996 that deregulated the communications industry. 6 companies in America control 92% of the media. Journalism's dead. 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 And we're giving people what journalism used to be. We give you the facts. And again, no magazine gives you trends analysis and trend forecasts. They don't know how to do it. Again, I got best-selling books. The facts are there. They don't teach you trend forecasting in Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Oxford, Cambridge. They don't know how to do it. Look, every time a new year begins, what happened last year? Hey, how about what's going to happen next year? I care what happened last year. They don't know how to do it. And so we're giving people, we're doing everything we can to help people prepare, prevail, and prosper in these times ahead. Trendsjournal.com.
We will leave the link in the description of this video. Gerald, thank you very much for coming to the show today.
Oh, and thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all that you do.